Good evening, folks. Mark Wilson here in the Fancave. Tonight I am going to be giving you a grand tour of my fan cave. This is a garage that I'm renting. Well, sort of renting. I've exchanged dog sitting duties for the landlord, and so she lets me keep my stuff here for free. And anyway, it's a single car garage. And within walking distance of my house, so that's a plus. I basically just have some stuff stored in here right now. I have my bicycle, my a few random things, and now the fan. I have this. This is my testing rig right here, where the gold line is, and I have some fan storage up in the boards of the loft. I have this Crompton Greaves Encon high breeze that Brian Peterson was kind enough to give me when I visited him at his former house. And check out his channel, Cleveland Fan Collector, I believe it's called, or AM Muscle. I can't remember, but I think it's Cleveland Fan Collector. But anyway, up here I have two Blenderfans. My 4-blade, which I can't remember the origin of that, and I don't know where I acquired that. I think it was a Fanimation trip, but I can't remember who I got it from. The small 3-blade fan I acquired from Mark Welker. Check out his YouTube page too. It's I think it's called like Mark the Millionaire or something like that, but like air spelled AIR. But he's got all kinds of cool videos. So I think I think we did a trade deal. I gave him something for this. I've always loved Blenderfans, and the 3-blade is just with the switch housing is so rare that I had to get my hands on it. Anyway, yeah. The switch housing. I mean, the switch housing caps are missing from both of these. One just have regular Emerson cap, the roundish one, and this one is just a piece of cardboard painted black. But it works, and I've always loved dual installs where they're basically the same fan, and one has 3 blades and one has 4 blades. When I was a kid, there was a clothing store that in my dad's hometown, Winthrop, Mass, and when you'd walk in, there was sort of a low, like a suspended ceiling over the registers, and then there were 2 fans. They were identical. One had 3 blades and one had 4 blades, and I can't remember what they were. If they were Moss Caribbean Breezes or Crompton Greaves Encon. I think they might have been Encons because years later it became a gym. They ripped down the suspended ceiling and all that stuff. And above the there was a higher suspended ceiling, but above that they ripped that down. And at the peak of the roof there was a small Encon. And so I think maybe they had those. And then up by the door they had. The suspended ceiling was gone, so they weren't low, but they had 2 those newer 3-blade metal-looking industrials on long down rods. So anyway, the ladders and all that stuff came with it. I intend to rig up the TAT sooner or later, so I'll actually have a fan over here, a functional fan. I'll have to move that chain, but I intended to put up where that hook is up there. I intended to put up that Dayton Lasco, but it hung down too far and compromised the blades of the other fans. So it was very difficult actually to install these because I had to, because of the shape of the beam, the further up I got away from the side beam, the closer to the 3-blader I got. So I had to get it just right So there's a very small margin of error, and any wobble that's going to hit. So obviously I'm not going to be pulling the pull chain because that would cause the fan motor to sway. But up here on top, I used to have a few, the gutters and all that stuff came with it. But I don't really have much of note. There's I have let's see, there's ivy, lots of ivy that's growing up from the outside because the whole back is covered in ivy. And I have some fluorescent lights I may hook up sooner or later. A papasan chair I bought when I had my apartment. A rug I had from the apartment. And, geez, I've had that deadhead plate since I was in college. It was my college dorm. And, so, yeah, just a lot of stuff stored, really. I have Victorian over here, a couple of gold lines, a couple of New-Tone Haciendas, and I have a set of 4 brand new from 1984 Mopar hubcaps. Some still have the original boxes. This box disintegrated so much that it was, basically fell apart. So, my 5-star sign. I had a few Mopars over the years, and most recently had my 87 Chrysler 5th Avenue. So, I had a little West Pointy shop fan that I had in my bedroom for a long time. Had my antique deal, orange line, and I basically just rigged this shelf up with cinder blocks and 2x4s. That was a very common bookshelf back in the 60s and 70s. My parents actually, when they were, I think it was their first apartment out of college, they had they had a similar type setup as a bookshelf. Just cinder blocks and 2x4s. Because they're cheap, it works, and it holds plenty of fans. And my Demco here, bit of trouble getting the screws out. I tried spraying some WD-40 in there, but the screws are wedged in there. And so anyway, I'm going to plug in a few of these fans. So I have I have my solid state control rigged up here. We'll start off with the gold line. Turn that down to a dull roar. Try not to get decapitated in the process. I'm going to plug in the Crompton Greaves. And last but not least, El Blendinos. then I'll kill all the fans at once with my power strip here. Yeah, there's something I really like about the blenders with 3 wooden blades. Or they're plastic, but they look like wood. There was a furniture store called Levitt's when I was a kid. I would beg my parents to take me to, because it was a big, high industrial building, you know, way up high in the dark ceiling. They had a whole bunch of these, the 52-inch without the switch housing, and I've always absolutely loved those. So I have a couple new in the box. Another couple of fans left to pry out of my cold dead hands. I'll never give to. Wow, it's funny because the gold line's the one that took the longest spin down, and that was on slow speed. So anyway, yeah. Thanks for checking out my new my antique. It was given to me by the guy that plows the driveway at Frito, little GE. He's a really nice guy. I was asking about my plate, Fan Man plate. That's my license plate is Fan Man, and then he, was nice enough to, was nice enough to give me the, give me a fan. So anyway, I'm gonna unplug a few of these so I can get my. Oops! Wait a minute. I want to get my shop light back on. I think that's it. Yes. So yeah, over here is sort of the workspace. Oops, forgot to put my screwdrivers away. I don't like to leave stuff out, but I have a little small pegboard, Fasco truck, some various cool as a moose mug, my little tool kit, it's kind of, everything's just positioned haphazardly now. Hopefully I'll get it organized sometime in the future. That's the Homer my dad built. He builds models. That's some old, various old bottles of sorts. But yeah, I do some old speakers. Yeah, it's a work in progress, that's for sure. So there's a lot more to do, but what I'm trying to do now is basically just get the fans tested here, put them in my storage unit, and then stage them there, and then I have like almost 150 fans, and I have a major purging is imminent, so I plan to plan to just sort, make sure that my fans are in good in good order, and I don't want to shortchange anybody if I sell them or give them away or trade or whatever. So I want to make sure they have all the parts, and so I'm testing them here, getting them out of my cellar. And anyway, that's about it. Thanks a lot for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more fan videos. Good night and good luck.